Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Wrestling vs. the World podcast. If you're all enjoying your day, sweet. If not, what the hell ever. We're almost done. Almost! Second to last episode of Saturday Morning Slam, May 4, 2013. So the show's opening announcement is that we're starting off with Jey Uso versus Darren Young. It's whatever. And you got Brad Maddox joining the commentary team. Now, they actually give a backstory as to why this match is happening, but I'm not a fan of it because it's copy or paste. So, earlier in the morning, the Usos were clowning around with Mick Foley about dancing and everything, and the primetime players come in, they're like, hey, we don't like how you're taking dancing from the Usos instead of us. Similar to when we saw this same thing with Mick Foley having dancing lessons with tons of funk, primetime players having a problem with that too. So it's like, once again, we have a problem because you don't want to dance with us, you want to dance with them instead. And Mick does join them with dancing like millions of dollars and shit. The Usos aren't impressed, so Jey decides, hey, Darren, you got two left feet. Let's have a match here on Saturday Morning Slam. So whatever. I mean, like, it's just like, you got a match happening again because you can't agree on dancing. Like, So, you got the match going on. Darren gets the advantage, shoulder block off the start. Yeah, whatever. But then Jey, he decides to do something we had already seen before. When he gets on offense, he decides to start messing with Darren's hair. Didn't we already see this happen at least once or twice on other episodes of Saturday Morning Slam? Because, like, you got the pick going on, then they're like, oh, we're going to mess with your hair. Oh, they mess with my hair. What the hell? Like, we've seen this before. What's so humorous about this? So, dude arm drags to Darren, escapes out of the ring, and you got commercial. Come back from the break, Darren is on the canvas in a hammerlock, gets an escape, and Jey gets shoved a couple of times into the top turnbuckle, and he starts no-selling it and starts dancing because you got that old trope of how Samoans have hard heads, so headshots don't affect them. Didn't think they were ever going to go back to that. And then he gives a headbutt to Darren and then knock him back to the canvas. Side headlock grounds Jey to the canvas. Jey gets out of the ring, or gets out of the headlock, drops Darren Young with a hip toss and gives him a falling headbutt. Darren, who was on his back, was down there, legs and ass up in the air, and took a headbutt to the head. Like, why? So Jey, he goes to the second rope, gets yanked off by his leg by Darren, smacks the back of his head on the top turnbuckle. Darren puts Jey on the top rope. After struggling a bit, wants to give him a superplex. Darren gets stopped and gets dropped off the second rope. And then Jey wants to go for the top rope Uso splash. Titus jumps on the apron, grabs Jey by the leg to knock him off there, but Jey lands on his feet. Disqualification win for Jey. I think this is the only time we've seen a DQ ending for this entire series. Unless my memory is slipping, because this show is rotting my brain to the point where it wants to get put into a blender and mixed up and freaking flushed down the toilet. So, here comes Mick Foley like clockwork. And he decides, hey, it's bullshit that you guys couldn't stay, like, as watching bystanders at ringside, so we're going to have a tag team match here. The Teddy Long special, so now we're going to get the Usos versus the Primetime Players. Yay. So, that's our main event. We got no variety here. So, Usos versus Primetime Players. Titus, he avoids taking a sunset flip by Jimmy, and Darren gets into the match. He can't get a break on offense because he's just getting dominated. Jey gets tagged in, slaps Darren in the face, and some moves are constantly getting missed because of these different camera angles and camera cuts again. So it's like a move is being done, can't tell you what it is because the camera angles are just focusing on the other Usos and everything. You can't see a slap or a punch or whatever because camera misses it. Then Jimmy, he gets back in and holds Darren Young by his left shoulder. So once again, you can't do a headlock. You could do a waist lock or something, but instead it's like, oh, we got to hold in the left shoulder, which we've seen so many times. This is what happens when you got a TVG-rated show. You become creatively bankrupt in terms of what can and can't be done. Otherwise, you just get the camera cut treatment all the time. So Jey gets back in, and the focus goes on Darren's left arm, which becomes pointless later on. Leg drop by Jey, onto Darren. Jimmy's tagged in, backed in yet again, which is like the frequent tags you usually see the heels do. So then Darren, he rolls from the ring and avoids a super kick. But then Darren, he's running around the ringside, and he trips over the steps and seems to hurt his leg when he's running from Jimmy. Darren gets back in the ring, tags in Titus, and Titus just blasts Jimmy from behind as we got a commercial. Come back from the break. Titus tags in Darren and gives him a front suplex on to Jimmy for a near fall, which is like, you got to question though that move because like it's hurting your tag partner too, even if it's also affecting the opponent. Because ribs onto ribs or stomach on stomach or whatever, not the smartest combination there. Jimmy, twice in a row, bounces out of the corner after hard Irish whips. Titus gets tagged back in. Jimmy does that Rikishi inside-out spinning bump after taking a shoulder block. And then Jimmy runs at Titus, gets caught, and gets yeeted over his head from a fallaway slam. So it's like, that's at least something impressive there. Titus did not even get off his feet, just yeet. And not the kind of yeet you're talking about here, folks. Corner splash connects once, misses a second time after Jimmy gets out of the way. Darren and Jay tag in. They're the legal men. Jay gets the comeback sequence from a hot tag. Small and dropping here. Umaga butt splash, which gets the camera cut treatment and a near fall, because we can't show faces and asses. Well, unless you're in a Naomi match. Super kicks take out both members of the Primetime Players. The first one to Titus gets the camera cut treatment, but the one to Darren Young was okay for some reason, even though it's the same move. Uso splash to Darren. I didn't keep track of which Uso it was, but it was like one going over another. 1, 2, 3. Darren Young takes a pin, and that's it. So yet again, no variety here, no Saturday morning spotlight, no video vaults or third degree or anything. It's just, we have a match, ends in disqualification, restart the match now, it's a tag team match playa, and all that other shit. It's just, I cannot believe I've only got one episode left and this nightmare can be over. I can wake up from this. The nightmare will end. I can stop fighting insomnia, and I can get a good night's sleep. Okay, exaggerating, but still, you know what I mean. So yeah, I am so glad I only got one more show to watch, and this whole thing will be done with, and then I can move on to the next project within the whole podcast. So anyway, let me know y'all in the comment section below what you thought about this episode of Saturday Morning Slam. Like I said, next time, the series finale, the May 11, 2013 episode. Yay. If you enjoyed today's episode, folks, please remember, leave a like, subscribe to the bell, turn on listen to this on YouTube, or follow if you're listening to this podcast on any other service that the podcast is available on, and I'll catch you all in the next episode. Thanks for listening, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, and good day, everybody.